We are so back.
We're so back, baby.
It would be really nice, but I'm still worried. Like, okay, Ambessa deals with the Scion a little bit. Do we have an Azir potentially that can deal with the Scion?
It is going to be the Nocturne lock-in over here for LGD. We'll see what OMG are going to respond with. This is the first Raven of the year for Shaoye, by the way. 14 and 13 lifetime on it. Ooh. His last couple goes at it haven't been fantastic. You know, it's really recently he's been struggling on it, but before the last couple of years, it's done good work on it. See what OMG's final pick is going to be. This could be a very solid takeaway if they lock in the Galio, as there's always an opportunity to see it paired up with a Nocturne. But I do have a feeling it is going to be this Azir lock-in. We've seen a lot of Azir Kiana together. Doesn't always feel like it works, Jbetto, but it ends up just working out fine somehow.
Syndra, I would really like a Syndra. I think it's really good into Nico, into Kiana, into Azir. Could look good. I mean, we have seen the LeBlanc picked into these majors. I think Showmaker had an incredible game earlier on in the year. I like the Syndra. I think it looks good. So, Yanni, do you want to know something about the 80 carry pool? So, Varus has 33 games, now 34, with a big 70% win rate. Again, it did just lose. Mm-hmm. You know what else has a 70% win rate with a couple of games? Let me check the games here.
I have a feeling it might
13 games, so not as many, but 70% win rate, Kai'Sa. So this is another champion globally in the 80 carry position above 10 games that is doing pretty well. Again, it's very contentious on draft. Getting a Kai'Sa Nico with a Kiana is a great start, but I think this Syndra pick, it's been rising in priority a lot. It benefits a lot with the upgraded boots. You can go movement speed boots, that's nice. Lucidity, you can go tank boots. But it's really good into Kiana, into Azir, into this Nico.
Kai'Sa currently 5-2 in the LPL. And it's just LPL Kai'Sa, man. These Chinese Kai'Sa players are just something else, man. There's a reason why Uzi picked it as his champion. You know, it has been an iconic champion for this region for so long. And, you know, many players have come through and carried the torch. A lot of these guys grew up watching Uzi once this champion came out, do some dastardly things on this champion, and said, I want to be like that guy. Everybody who has watched pro play in their lives has watched a player and said, I want to play like that guy. It's a reason why Kai'Sa is so ingrained in the culture of the LPL. I'm happy that we're going to see another game of it. We're going to see how the Draven stacks up into it again. If this Kai'Sa mispositions early, you are almost assuredly going to die.
And I mean, we've seen some incredible Kai'Sa performance recently. Elk, the most recent one, Yanni, that has done incredible work. What was it, 19 kill game, an 18 kill game as well. But there have been some other 80 carries giving out great performances. There was a pentakill the other night, followed up by a quadra kill as well on an MF of all things. So,
oh yeah,
80 carries in the LPL are putting up contention to do really well, hopefully internationally. But we've got an important series in front of us right now. LGD against OMG. OMG up 1-0 in the series. Their first win. Nice hook.
Barrier already haven't yet used. The Starry is going to take the rough end of a trade here. The dominance displayed by this Draven, that is just how it works. All right, Jbetto, let's zoom out of the bot lane for a second. Actually, hold on one moment, as Juhan is going to head over to his bloom buff and find that it's already halfway dead. As Juhan's going to hop out, it looks like Heng will be able to pick this one up and walk out.
Smite. If he had Smite there, Juhan might have been able to dash in, stay in, fight for the contest, but gambling the fact that Heng did have Smite, which he did. Obviously, that was the first camp that Heng had done. So it'll be the blue buff invade successful for Heng. But Yanni, I'm zooming out on bot lane. What are we looking at?
So you had mentioned that LGD struggling at times to play to their comp's identity. This is a very clear pick composition. You have the Nocturne Global over the top. What are you expecting LGD's game plan to be? And what constitutes them not executing their game?
I think it needs to be some bot pressure because the Kai'Sa Neeko will outscale the Draven easily. Neeko is still, in my opinion, the best support in the game. I'm willing to be convinced, you know, watching Neeko more and more, it has started to find some losses, but I think that if you're a really good Neeko, you're really creative as well, which is why I personally enjoy the champion. I don't necessarily disagree with the cannon change. You know, I understand that was a pretty ridiculous mechanic to have, but top lane is an Mbessa against the Scion. You're probably not going to be able to kill the Scion early game with this Nocturne, especially not late game. You might be able to find him if he's overextended. Mid lane is an Azir, but this bot lane, another hook found.
Again walking up. Shaoye flashing forward. It's first blood for YCX as they're playing this lane perfectly.
You would have loved that on the Shaoye, but unfortunately, it goes over to YCX. Supports have a lot more gold these days with the, you know, support quests, so you are able to complete some more items. Getting support item early, like getting a first item on support, is really nice. So it doesn't hurt to give a first blood over, especially if Shaoye got the assist. He's already up about the same amount of gold, but if that was a cash in plus first gold, we could be looking at 800 gold. You know, maybe 700 gold up
Jbetto,
for Shaoye right now.
Listen, it's just the law of Draven. You're always fated to be a part of First Blood and always fated to never get the kill. Like, that's just how it works on Draven. Sometimes you're just going to have the stat line of 1, 0, and 10, and you're just going to have to accept the fact that you might get one cash out of the game.
And unfortunately, that's true as well. You're involved some way. You might be killed for First Blood, lose all your stacks, which feels horrendous to have happen, but
I want to cry.
Shaoye does have the Vamp Scepter to get a bit of sustain from the Neeko poke.
Let's do it again.
Did they see that? I don't know if they saw him.
They pinged it.
They saw him now.
Yeah, they pinged it.
Well,
YCX was out slightly, but I like the attempt there just to try to put some doubt in the mind of Starry and Moham. We've talked about now this bot lane so much. It's Heng getting started on the path to level 6. So that paranoia is going to be making a large impact in this game to try to get Sasa and Tangyuan going.
Now remember, the Kai'Sa no flash as well, the Neeko no flash means that when Heng gets level 6, Dragon priority might be something that LGD want to go towards. Now, we've been talking... hold on, nice.
There's that scout of the week. Haichao's not able to get in for that Emperor's Divide. It's a really nice play there by Tangyuan. Stay alive. Meanwhile, up top, we're going to have a public execution. It's just going to be to get Hery off of Sasa's back.
Now, late game, Azir scale, Kai'Sa Neeko scale. You know, the Scion's got so much health. The Kiana has 3 damaging items. OMG do outscale. Just based on damage, based on their team fight, they have more options. But Tangyuan doesn't get outscaled. He constantly has the value of the... Obviously, the splinters getting stacked up, but he constantly has the value of this Scout of the Week throughout the entire game. It only gets better and better when the team fights happen. If Tangyuan can put on a rookie-level performance, we saw this same matchup with Rookie versus Hongq, and Rookie carried the whole game.
There we go. This time, he's going to send Tangyuan into the turret. He's going to force his flash out. Haichao still has his.
A little bit of a caster curse there. I've mind-controlled Tangyuan to walk up
6.
under near tower end. Yeah, close. Should be able to sneak past. No, we'll show on vision to be able to get this wave pushed out on purpose to help Tangyuan get back to base, as he doesn't have TP. But very close there from Tangyuan. No flash now in the mid lane. So for Heng, as he looks for this blue buff invade, bot lane is roaming up. Heng can look for the bot lane with this Kai'Sa that doesn't have flash, or when Juhan hits level 6, which should be after this red buff, maybe red buff and Raptors it'll take. I mean, Juhan can look onto this Syndra in mid.
Shout out Heng, by the way, for really taking advantage of having 3 winning lanes. He has been all up in Juhan's jungle. He's taken 2 blue buffs. You take a look at the differential in CS going on so far. While we haven't seen the first paranoia of the game quite yet, He has garnered a solid lead for himself and has done everything he can to make sure that this Qiyana has a minimal early game impact. But now that supreme display of talent is going to be available, we'll see if Juhan is able to leverage the strength and the CC that his solo laners can provide to try to get some kills for himself.
Well, OMG will lane swap. LGD get the Drake and will match the lane swap. I was expecting maybe OMG. Oh, Juhan gonna deny access.
Stand aside is there. There's the hook going down. Shaoye is still alive. Juhan dies. LGD's bot lane turns it around on him. Paranoia on top of it. And OMG bit off far more than they could chew. And the grubs will go to LGD.
Shaoye plays that so well and gets the cash out. Now looking at a 1,000 gold lead. I was really expecting OMG to clear the wave, maybe get a plate, and then base to mismatch the lanes constantly would be nice because of just how strong the Draven is, has the BF sword now too. But Juhan calls this dive past the tier 1 tower and it goes completely awry.
Next flash hook not quite landing. But that's all right. LGD feeling pretty good about themselves. Less than 10 minutes into this game, almost a 3,000 gold lead. Take a look at this replay, Jbetto. Juhan immediately getting disrupted.
The dash. Nasty. And then the ult hits no one. Ult from YCX is great. Cash out from Shaoye. And then jungle answer here from Heng to get the extra kill here. 3-0 now for LGD. We tune back into live. OMG trying to contest a mid-prio, but not finding a whole lot. It is mostly this lead on Shaoye. Sure, it's 600 for YCX, but that doesn't particularly mean a whole lot. And a 700 gold lead for Heng. First item completion will be really important as we take a look back at what we missed. Right, okay,
nice
so
the
hook buffer was insane, but again, it's Tangyuan with the scout of the week. Finding so much value in this game. Similar to that rookie game. Heng looking for another invade. Is this 2022? I won't be able to get it.
Yeah, but the sheer pressure that is just put on this entire time. Juhan has really not been able to find his way to making a positive impact in this game. Now, the good news for OMG is that Haichao, while he's down about 300 gold, has not been disrupted at all this game. We know that Kai'Sa is liable to pop off at any time. Juhan gonna get knocked up over the wall. There's that Nocturne ultimate coming through that Paranoia, and the whirling death on top of it. Tangyuan gets the kill, and Shaoye stuck in a 2v1. The shutdown goes to Starry.
That's good, but hasn't really closed the gold lead a whole lot. No flash on Shaoye means not able to... Okay, dancing with death a little bit there, Haichao. Really nice catch onto this Qiyana. Would have been lovely if you had been able to give the kill over to Shaoye on this Draven, but unfortunately doesn't quite go the way that the ult just doesn't clip with enough damage to kill Juhan. So that kill will go over to Heng. Now look at the gold lead for Starry. That's evened up a lot more after clearing out that wave. The lead this time now is on Heng. It's kind of swapped positions. Tangyuan has a little bit of a gold lead. So does Shaoye, but it's this Nocturne with the first item completed.
And you have to be very, very careful about these next few fights to make sure that there's no more gold going on to Starry. Take a look at this replay. The ward put down immediately after the knockup. It was just perfectly done.
And then the Pop Blossom that catches Shaoye. I think Moham is going to need to be the one who steps up this game. YCX.
Hang on. Speaking of giving kills to Starry, YCX was in a little bit of trouble, but he'll be no worse for wear. 45 seconds until this next dragon is up. You know LGD wants to get their hands on it. Heng fairly strong at this point in time as that experimental hex plate. And a large lead for himself will certainly be dealing damage to a lot of champions on the OMG side that are not known to be very tanky, Jbetto.
Yeah, not a ton of tank.
Right now, by the way.
That's playable.
He's going to kill him. He's going to kill Juhan here. Juhan is dead.
Wow. Yeah, you can see the player cams. Juhan not happy about that one. Has flash as well. Needed to flash before the fear came off. Pro players oftentimes will greed their flash because they want to hold on to it. to the last possible second, but Juhan dies before the fear even finishes. And now you're up against, you know, Tangyuan on the Syndra. How do you get in? I really think it's Moham who needs to step up alongside Starry, this bot lane, who, yes, Starry did some things in that last game, did get the player of the game with the damage, but I think him alongside Moham, who had a quiet game last game, needs to make an impact. You can find so many creative angles with Nico. You can fully turn team fights with some massive pop blossoms. And there is a lot that Tangyuan can push away with the Scout of the Week, but if they go synchronized enough, he can only really push away one thing before the cooldown is, you know, too long. But LGD will get the second dragon of this game again for free.
YCX getting rooted. It's gonna hook the wall. And don't know what's gonna happen after that. We had a lot of things go on. Juhan died somehow, one way or another. I have to say, Jbetto, I'm not overly surprised by that. He has had a very difficult game.
Yeah, looks like we committed with the ult from Tangyuan, unleashed power, and then clipped by the Draven ult. This time enough damage to kill this Kiana. And access to the bot lane turret now for LGD. Moham pushing away LGD, so it'll only be that one plate. But you blink, Yanni, 14 minutes in, 4,000 gold lead and 2 Drakes.
I mean, look at the quest differential, too. It's 5 quests to 3. Like, poor Starry has been about as innocent as he could be in this game. Obviously, early on, there were some issues. Hooked early, and they lost a lot of priority off of that. But, I mean, when your jungler is struggling, when your mid laner is not able to get any advantages because it's just simply having to deal with an early game Syndra, it is quite difficult to do much of anything. But OMG has overcome a large goal deficit in this series before. We're not even 15 minutes into this game. There are still going to be opportunities for OMG, but they are quickly waning. So you're going to have to find one of these squishier targets. Juhan has to get it in gear.
I mean, the conversation remains for OMG's early games, however. No matter how good their late game teamfighting might be, whether or not you want to say that that was an LGD mistake or a great force from OMG linking up together on the right target, but OMG's early games are not pretty to look at. They have losing lanes, they are getting caught, losing summoner spells and being punished for their over-aggression in multiple plays. -1.
There's the paranoia. Flash over the wall for Moham Tangyuan. Scout of the Week nails both him and the clone. Pop Blossom for protection ain't gonna be enough as Heng picks up kill number 3.
Great find from the stun from Tangyuan to finish that kill off. Pop Blossom will buy a knock-up, but Moham will die before he lands. And still LGD finding picks, finding angles together where they're linked up. And again, OMG were able to do that, Yanni, in game number 1, but it took them a long time to do so throughout all their early game. Again, it's great, and on the game score, it does say that they won a game, but they didn't win the game until a long way in. Haichao, maybe the target here of a dive.
There's that knockup. He's going to slide away and use his flash. And now he's stuck under this turret. It looks like Moham is going to head on his way up to try to help him out. But LGD will wisely back off, not wanting to over-pursue anything with the lead that they have.
I love the calculated aggression from LGD. They force the flash at a Haichao. They don't overcommit for anything more. Well, we know who LGD think is going to be the problem in the draft here, because Shaoye, second item LDR, much stronger this patch, so does do pretty well with Draven. Public Execution will hit Hery, but just going to push him under his tower, maybe threaten this tower kill. But I mean, Zion.
Yep, but I mean Sion. Honestly, you couldn't have put it any better. Seeing Heng go ahead and take a recall, he's going to finish off his Black Cleaver. He is on 2 items. This guy has run this game so far. A really impressive performance coming out of the jungle. He's got a bottom side to clear, and we'll see if he ends up on another collision course with Juhan at some point. Juhan's topside respawning, and I'm sure he's quite happy that Hery or Heng should not be around to contest anything.
I mean, Shaoye is significantly stronger than Starry, not only just because of he's got a full item completed and Starry only has one, but those 2 items are very strong too, right? Starry needs the 3 items, or you need 2 items plus Amp Tome, I think, to get W upgrade as well, if he's going to go that build. So a while away from that. BT is such a strong first item. Herald being used in mid. Shaoye so far forward. And again, OMG not feeling confident. This one, there is no Kiana. Sorry, there is no Talia. This one will crash and destroy the turret.
Yep. Turret goes down. Hery is going to use his ultimate to try to link up and give OMG a man advantage in this fight. YCX a good buffer on the hook, but he doesn't go very far. There's just not that much follow-up that they have to get onto him. He'll flash away, scatter the weak onto Hery, and now he gets hooked in as the rest of LGD are looking to trade good damage back onto him. OMG still have a member advantage right now. They are pinging onto this dragon.
Sasa up in top lane, does have the TP, but OMG finally around a dragon that isn't an Elder Dragon first. TP comes in here for both top laners.
Here we go. He just goes in alone, and Juhan goes down. Dragon for LGD, and look who's on the backside. It's Sasa, potentially ready to go. He'll instead think better of it and head back to the bot lane.
That looked so easy from Heng. I thought with the double TP in from the top laners, we were going to see a big team fight. Maybe Dragon goes over to OMG, but LGD have something to say about the team fight. But no, Heng just walks in, uses his ult, and kills Juhan, who is tanking. Oh, it was the stun as well. I didn't see that part. I was focused on the TPs. Tangyuan finds a great Scatter the Weak stun, and Heng is ready to go. This is something that OMG have struggled with, and they did find a little bit of, again, at the end of that first game. But LGD, their team fighting, their coordination just seems superior.
I'm going to be honest, Jbetto, I don't even think you needed the scatter the weak for that one. I think you could have just went in and blew this man up. Heng is so strong right now. He's over 80 CS up. Are we going to see a flame horizon in the jungle? That would be incredible. We're going to go all the way in here, force the ultimate out of Starry. Probably execution missed it as well. That's all right. They can't all be winners.
Okay, but they got ult, flash, and barrier from this Kai'Sa. That's a huge win in my books. What happens when a single ult comes back up in mid?
Well, Hery trying to drift around here, and that stand aside. Shaoye does damage to the sky. Hery's got to flash away. Teleport on the back end. Haichao could find himself in trouble. Whirling Death going to come down for good damage. Moham getting in there, only able to knock up one. And look at the side. It's Tangyuan. It's Sasa. It's everyone on OMG hitting the floor. LGD are running this game. And this Syndra pickup does so much work into the comp of OMG. They're outranged by it. They can't engage when Tangyuan's finding angles constantly. And Yanni, LGD looking to make game one a distant memory with an even stronger setup. They have Baron before Soul. They'll have over 10,000 gold in their pocket. And looking to cement a 1-1 start here for themselves, as with this LDR second item, nice flash from Shaoye. Hery is paper, Moham a minion, it's pretty telegraphed, but he goes for it anyway. Tangyuan on the top side of the fight, ready, picks up an orb and hits everybody here with the Scatter the Weak. There is nothing that OMG can do. Honestly, great positioning from Tangyuan. He's played this Syndra so well. Yes, it's a great pick here, but when you're piloting a champion like this so well, there's not much OMG can do. LGD are playing like they're pissed off. They're playing like they're very upset.
I would be too.
That they lost that first game. Wow. There's a chance, I guess. It would require a little bit more effort on the side of LGD right now. Their jungler would not have to be bot lane. But there is a chance that they could have contended potentially for fastest game of the split. We're going to eclipse that mark in about 1 minute and 20 seconds, so I don't know if that one is in the cards, Jbetto. But what is in the cards is in 1 minute and 20 seconds, we're going to have a Mountain Soul come through, and that should seal the fate for good in this game.
The good news as well for LGD is that they'll have Baron like when the Soul spawns, so they'll have Prior the whole time. Last time when Elder was spawning and they had Baron, it had wore off. So OMG could wiggle their way back into some mid control. If LGD can hold their control the whole time, as the Unstoppable Onslaught will be forced to be used. I don't know if even with Paranoia we can follow this, but the other great thing is that Baron will wear off. Let's say LGD do get the Soul. Baron will be the next objective after that. They won't be at risk of flipping an Elder and losing the fight. So even if OMG do flip the Baron, that's not enough stats, enough gold to eclipse this massive, nearly 11,000 gold lead that LGD have. If they do have the Soul as well, it's Mountain Soul this game. That's significantly stronger than the Chemtech Soul was. Tangyuan, so much damage.
Hey, and there's that Flame Horizon, by the way, but here's a fight breaking out. Juhan is once again dead. Knockup is going to land along with Scatter the Weak onto Starry. They are doing whatever they can to just make it impossible for this guy to play. LGD with a man advantage.
And they'll keep pushing in as well. The Azir turret will do nothing, and against the Syndra, feels like this champion is finding a lot more value specifically into the Azir and the Qiyana, just in general in the meta. You can see its value in this game. Soul has spawned, and I don't think OMG need Vision to know that the dragon will be taken. And like you said, it is a jungle Flame Horizon.
When's the last time that
Which
happened?
is insane. Someone's going to have to get that stat, because we don't see Flame Horizons a whole lot in pro play. A jungle Flame Horizon in the Big 26?
That's so hard to make happen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even, you know, I really want to figure out if this has even ever happened in the jungle, right? I mean, I'm sure there's got to be some sort of, maybe, you know, tier 2 in professional play, some sort of game where this may have happened, but this is an all-time performance by Heng. It really is impressive stuff. There's a Whirling Death that gets them all very low. YCX and Shaoye say, we'll just do it our damn selves. Moham desperately trying to run away.
That was all in 1
is
second.
not fast enough to catch up.
Oh, okay. YCX had TP as his spellbook spell. If anything else was there, Heal would have gotten Shaoye in range. Exhaust would have slowed down Moham, but ult was 1 second away when Moham went into his clone, so didn't want to 50-50 that. Keeps the ult in tow. Tangyuan is around the corner. I don't know if anyone on OMG know he's here. Well, they will now. Nice Scatter the Weak will find a double stun. Again, this is the situation I was talking about. Mountain Soul this time with all the shielding. Very, very strong. No Elder to flip. It's Baron up next in a minute.
And, you know, if you're worried about that shielding, you could always build a Serpent's Fang, but I mean, Juhan has to be the one to build that, and he's not able to get any CS. I mean, he is just completely locked out. He's actually getting doubled in CS now, but I mean, there's nowhere for him to farm. I mean, Heng has just taken sadistic pleasure in clearing the jungle. It's not even just, oh, I'm going to clear the jungle because it's the most efficient thing to do. No, you could tell that this guy is just, any opportunity he's had to farm his jungle when he should be with his team, he's taken. Up. Which means that he is definitely knows how far ahead he is. I mean, he's just eating the mid waves for God's sake. I mean,
he's even or higher in level than his solo lane is. He actually has the most XP in the entire game right now on jungle. Juhan will finally complete a second item, but Yanni, has there ever been a double Flame Horizon? Has there been a 200 CS lead?
Oh my God, we might get there if this game extends any longer. But to be honest, if it extends longer, that might not be good for LGD. Here we go, all the way in. Pop Blossom there. Down goes Juhan for an 8th time. Moham will fall. It's a double kill for Shaoye. And over on the backside, the Unleashed Power will cap it off for Tangyuan. Hery, the last man standing, he says, I will just do what I can to try to clear out this wave, but It's just a matter of who gets the kill. He flashes forward, drop his ultimate down, says, I will not be another statistic. I will not be a casualty in the books of LGD as the game-ending push Jbetto is on its way.
It's 10 seconds on Juhan, on Moham as well. No Baron wave, but with this monstrous 15k lead, Yanni, I don't think OMG can do anything.
Turrets are down. LGD just hitting the frontliner and not even going after anyone else. And mercifully, this game is over.
That was a statement from LGD. You said they came in and they might have been pissed off. It looked like they were. That was destruction. They picked OMG apart. OMG never stepped foot in that game, and you could have said that about game one. This could have been a very quick 2-0 if one fight had gone differently, if LGD didn't mistime their bases around Elder, give OMG some presence in the mid lane. But that looked more like the team that was contesting LNG the other night.
We call that BTA, Jbetto. You know what BTA means?
I could tell me, so I...
Belt to ass. That's what happened.
Okay, that's what I was...
That's what happened in this game. LGD said, oh, you fancy yourself players here in Group Nirvana. Well, let's show you why you're a bottom 2 team. And
I was gonna say
absolutely
boot.
put in that work. Yeah, boot also works. You could do either. But ultimately, whatever you want to call it, it was done by LGD. The good news is, if you're the coaches for OMG, you get to walk into the room in the back and say, all right, next game, we're going to do not that.
Yeah, guys, don't lose that hard in the early game, but I think the Tangyuan Syndra pick was really nice. Okay. So for majority of that early game, I'm thinking, okay, could be a Tangyuan MVP, but that Nocturne, that was a statement pick. You have to pick for the
Disgusting.
MVP there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, not even close. You know, it's really funny. Even if he has like an average game in game 3, I think he gets player of the series just off that game. I mean, this was the most crushing jungle, like, I hate to say
disgusting.
Differential, but there's really no other word for it, that I have ever seen, that I've ever had the ability to cast. And like, I've seen games where like challenger players are going up against like Emerald players. Like, this is one of the worst ones that I've ever seen. And I feel for Juhan, because even pros are not immune to having games like that. And he's been a guy that we have really highlighted so far as a troublesome spot for OMG. And I really hope he's able to just shake that game off. Maybe, you know, by the end of it, just kind of smiling and chuckling about how bad it's gone, and that he'll be ready to try to stand up in game 3 and say, I am more like the end of game 1 jungler than I was the entirety of game 2.
Yeah, and even in game 1, the Wukong looked great, right? I think that up until the end of that game, Heng looked really strong. Couldn't quite find the engage, but less damage. Like, both Haichao and Juhan, less damage than both supports, and getting like 50 plus on the Flame Horizon in jungle. No LPL gold graph this game. Look at the objectives too. Everything. One tower.
I was just about to say that
kill.
Too. Like,
we're a stone's throw from a perfect game.
Yes, they were so close to getting shut out. That's so crazy. I mean, you know, one thing to mention is this is the power that you do get when you draft winning lanes. Like, LGD drafted winning lanes everywhere. There were some questions whether or not you were going to have a winning lane to the bot lane due to the power of Nico and what Nico brings to the table in lane. But the early game was played so well by Shaoye and YCX and was not played as well by Starry and Moham. So that was your third winning lane. A big reason why a guy like Haichao felt like he was a participant that game. There was not much for him to do. Here's the lone highlight for OMG in this game. They found Shaoye.
One kill.
As we didn't know at the time, but it actually ended up being a 3-pointer to cut the deficit to 42.
Here's that play that we missed. Really nice. Is he flash for this?
He's using the caster skin.
Disgusting.
He's using the caster skin. It's the best Draven skin.
Yeah, that's us. But
I
yeah,
bought that skin when it came out, before I was ever a caster. And
when did it come out?
Brother, I'm old. I think this came out in like 2013, maybe 2014.
Oh boy. Well,
that's while I go look it up.
There is not a lot to analyze here. Don't watch if you want OMG to do well, which I liked.
2014. 2014.
Wow. That's pretty old. But yeah, this was absolute domination by LGD. They picked OMG to pieces. There was nothing they could do. This is what the first game probably should have been. And okay, they had almost double the lead by the end of the game that they peaked at, that LGD peaked at in that game 1. But no chance, no slip-ups, no mistakes by LGD. And it might just be a individual player gap in this series. I mean, if the jungle looked that good in game 1 as well, with Heng finding ganks early before Juhan could do anything on the Jarvan, if the mid lane is going to get counterpicked like that and look that strong,
I'm shocked, Jbetto. I can't believe this. Heng player of the game? No way. I mean, listen, he hung a flame horizon on Juhan's head. There's not much more you need to say for that. Well, I think, you know, we've done enough analysis for what this game was.
Yeah.
We'll see if OMG can pick themselves back up, dust themselves back off, and say, all right, LGD, you may have rolled us over in game 2, but we still got game 1, and we still have a third game to play right after this break.